Very good evening. And we heard the SAP business suite, and before that, Mr. Brijesh Singh has really set the tone that how we can leverage the digital ecosystem, specifically for the HR. See, with my experience, and then I will connect with the HR. So, of course, I worked in Aadhaar 13 years, right from the inception, how we have created this identity and created technological stack, and with biometric deduplication, we have given the identity. And identity is, of course, is the key in the HR system. Because without identity, you can't do anything. Sometimes we say there are fictitious employees on the roll sometimes, maybe, and sometimes maybe we have less number of employees on roll. So there's no need to give the contribution to the, all PF, etc. So lots of things. So how to, use the technology? So only good entities with good intention, and everyone will get benefited. So identity is the key. So we can use for the verification of the employee, and all you know that, and you should use that with respect to the PF, right? Now Aadhaar is already linked, and earlier, you as an employer sending the list of all the employees just in the piece in paper, and we are getting issues right now because that time maybe my name Sumnesh Joshi has given Sumnesh T Joshi, Sumnesh Trilokinath Joshi, and now Aadhaar says not matching. Right? But so one issue that I would like to highlight: use technology to capture the quality data. So there should not be any issue in the future. And always stress for the DigiLocker. If you fetch, use this digital public good infrastructure to very extent. Build your architecture that whenever you are onboarding any employee, please, sir. So the two benefits. One, you are training that candidate or the new employee, use DigiLocker if he or she is not onboarded, right? Then, many things will open through the DigiLocker. And you are also getting the validated, data with respect to the employee from a trusted source, because the same data is available all across the ecosystem. And what will happen with this identity, Aadhaar? The interoperability comes into the place. The analogy is not directly with HR, but I give the analogy of one nation, one ration card. Maybe there are many, I don't know how many of you in the audience are aware that the ration card holders were mapped with a particular ration shop in the city or the rural area, wherever. So you have to take the ration only from that shop. You can't go. Earlier, so everyone was at the mercy of the shopkeeper. आज नहीं आना, कल आना, आज है ही नहीं राशन. लंबी लाइन में लगी, आज केरोसिन आ गया है, शुगर आ गया है, चावल आ गया है. So how technology has changed. So one is with Aadhaar identification, biometric authentication is taking place, and it's a seamless integration. So we are talking across the systems. So all state public distribution systems are talking with each other under the one nation, one ration shop. So what is happening? A family of 5, maybe 2 people are in Mumbai, or 1 in Mumbai, 1 in Delhi, 3 in Bihar. They all are taking the ration. Interoperability. So similarly, in the HR system, we can draw the parallel. If we have a single identifier, right, we can communicate with each other. Of course, the caveat is the consent-driven architecture in view of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. That we have to ensure, because whatever system we are designing, for example, SAP is giving some solution. So how data is getting exchanged about a person or the employee, one has to ensure that it has to be consented. See, sometimes, in HR, now how to do the background check, etc. We have to go to the third party, So with the consent, and if the same identity is there in the HR ecosystem, we can verify that yes, this person has actually worked so many years in particular organization, or the reference he or she is given are correct, or whatever the data. If the mark sheet, suppose someone is submitted, how to validate the mark sheet? As on date, you simply see the face value. So face value, of course, more or less it's fine, but if someone can, make a fake mark sheet exactly look like, original, then how you are going to check that? So whether it's the passport or the mark sheets or the degree certificates, so then again, the trusted source is the DigiLocker. Maybe the people from my generation or maybe some of you, we are not having, the data digitized that form. Maybe all the mark sheets are handwritten also. My engineering degree is the handwritten. Right, marks are handwritten. It's sometimes very difficult to find out whether it is the 79 or maybe the 78 or what is written from the hand. Maybe the OCR will also fail to recognize those type of, But nowadays, everything is digital. So we can ensure that whatever is coming is the quality data. Why I am insisting again and again on quality data? Because when you are going to build the AI ML model, and maybe you all are working in the HR, there are models which are biased sometimes. So maybe I was reading a story that I think it's the US that they have created some HR model and they, finally they use this tool. They are segregating all the CVs, etc. And finally they end up only the male, because the entire model is trained with the more male employees. So it is skewed towards that. So again, and if the wrong data is there, the AI model will give, the wrong data. So ensure the good quality data, because we are going to run or we are going to use the AI ML for taking the decisions. And of course, AI ML, we have to use, as Mr. Brijesh Singh rightly pointed out, that if we will not use, then maybe we don't know what will happen, but the person or entities who are using the AI ML in a correct form, right, they are going to do the better. Because when we have hundreds or thousands of applications, right, how to scrutinize. So one way is, of course, everything is coming on the email, so there's no scanned thing. Earlier when we speak about the digitization means scanned images of the paper, that is the digitization, but it's not a digitization. Then people thought, no, okay, whatever is written, we are simply typing the same thing. It's the word file. It is digitization. It is not. See, what you want in the CV. So if we have a system that, okay, experience is coming from this. So if we have a trust-based system, then everything is coming through the system, trusted source. So for at least about the academic qualification or the experience or the references. So all, even I have learned a lot when I made the application for my daughter's admission in the United States through a common app. And it's awesome. See, so all the universities are sharing that common app. So she filled only one application, and whichever university she wants to apply, the same she is submitting. It's a trusted, and the data is validated by the school. So she can't make fool the universities that whatever she is writing, that school counselor is, waiting it. So it is again, validated data for rest of the US universities, and then recommendation. And the references also, and the email also is going on the official email and teacher. So this is how they were built. So similar sort of thing. We have to think that we have to ensure that good quality and trusted source, but the consent driven also. It's not that my data you are sharing with anybody else. So then you can use specifically background checks, and then linkage with the bank account also, and because it's again connected with the provident fund, etc. And then all e-sign and e-office. So e-sign again, now this is the digital public good infrastructure. Sometimes you say, you take a printout of 50 pages and sign it. Right? Each page you have to sign. So if we can use the e-sign, that's a good thing. That why to waste the 50 papers? And again, what I recommend, say, with my experience, whenever we give, of course, maybe legally it is required, say 50 pages. You can't reduce 50 to say 40 or 30. Then one has to go through all the 50 pages, or maybe we can have some summary of that also. Okay, this is, thing that you are going to agree upon. At least the employee should have a right that what I am going to sign it. Otherwise, as a common people, we all are signing tick, 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 okay, sign, and we are not reading. And whenever there is a trouble, then maybe the civil say, no, this is the clause, you have signed it. So that also we can use the e-sign mechanism, because when you open a national pension saving NPS account, just 1 minute you can open the bank account. So all eKYC, Aadhaar with eKYC, PAN number verification and totally digitized and e-sign on the fly. So agreement has been signed. An account aggregator also one can use for, consent driven. That suppose sometimes you want to know the financial strength of someone, and so that you can use. So not HR, the tender perspective also we are using that from where the audited accounts are coming, whether the CA who is signing is authorized or not, authorized CA or not. So all these things. So make use of all the digital schema in such a fashion and this digital public good infrastructure that everyone should get benefited. So the productivity will increase. And now if you have an AI model, suppose suppose when we are going to interview the candidates, what we will do then as a panel, everyone is having the now maybe paper-based copy or maybe the PDF files and then 3-4 pages, and then we have to go through. See, it's very difficult that to go through each and every line of, sometimes. So we scan it and then maybe we'll find something and maybe we'll ask something that we know, and there are a number of ways when we interview. But what he or she has written, so using the AI model, if we can find out. And then maybe we can build upon certain questions about, so we can gauge, the candidates, effectiveness or ability to perform the tasks, etc. So maybe all these tools we can use in the HR. And it's a seamless, integration, the data flow. So maybe in a big organization or the corporate setup, so maybe all this journey right from promotion to leave to, when your leave travel concession and foreign travel or incentives or work history. So everything is digitized. So many things, you can use the models and maybe it will be benefited to the employees, and time to time maybe you can get the incentive also. Right now it's very difficult to find out who is the best employee. What are the parameters? Then again, we typically in the government, we set up a committee, then committee asks the data, and then these are the 50 shortlisted candidates, then we go parameter by parameter, we give some marks. But if we can have some rationality and all the data is coming in the digitized form, we can take a decision and we can give the rewards also. And why reward only once in a year? It should be dynamic, right? So if you are measuring the digitally the performance of the employee in the HR, so maybe there are many solution providers are there, so we can capture each and everything, and then we can continuously take the data. So maybe you can make in-house customization or maybe whatever the solutions the providers are given. So from now one angle that I would like to take your help, because I am right now working with the Ministry of Communication. Maybe it's not directly related to the HR, but of course HR matters the most, or HR means whosoever is working. When we are going digital, right? So everything that employee is doing digitally for your company, whatever the work you are doing, is not only the attendance thing. See, simply digitizing attendance is not a complete digitization. As Mr. Vijay Singh told, that iPad is for the decision making, the cabinet ministers, whatever notes, everything, all the information getting exchanged. So when we are empowering the employees, so again there's a hierarchy of employee. Some employees, you have to share the sensitive data, sensitive files, right? So that we have to ensure that whether there's encryption or not. Or maybe someone is spoofing, or maybe someone is intercepting and maybe it may damage the company also, right? Or maybe data is getting leaked. So when we say about the tender processes, right? Or maybe your system, someone is hacking and getting all the data out, you don't know, you say, I'm a foolproof system. But someone is just already entered into the system, so the data security is very, very important. So when we say HR, so sometimes people think only HR means his recruitment, his leave or salary and incentives, but see, everything we have to connect, because the appraisal also come into the picture, and appraisal comes from the work, and work means, again, he is doing the work in the digital fashion, so there are methods how to gauge the performance in the digital, in the form of the digital attributes. So security of the data is very important, and of course consent driven, that the privacy is also important, because DPDP Act draft rules are, under already some suggestions have been given by the industry. Also, and any time government will announce that DPDP Act is going to be the light of the day, and then we have to ensure the data security and the privacy. And here, privacy is important because individual centric, and you are handling the very sensitive data about, because sometimes you have the health data also about, maybe they are the industry, maybe mining related, or maybe there may be more health results. So that plays an important role. Maybe there's every quarter health checkup is coming, and then all the parameters have to be there. So that is again, security is required and the privacy is required. Now, I'm assuming everything is going fine digitally, everyone is happy, all are flowing smoothly. We are happy. But the other side, we are now reading all the stories of digital arrest, financial fraud, right? Even in the industrial IoT also, right? Maybe we are seeing that, all the electric grids, maybe if all are automated, then maybe some bugs are there, they have to shut it down. Because in coming time, everything will be driven through Internet of Things or the 5G, right? So how to ensure that, yes, my data is protected and no one can intrude into. So cyber security, cyber hygiene, because your sensitive mails, right? And maybe something will happen because now, in coming time, as on date also, maybe we are saying iPad, when up, I will term it as smart device, whether it's a mobile, iPad, whatever. In coming time, maybe it's a wearable device, that's it. Maybe some people are simply detecting, or maybe as we see in the movies also, some sci-fi fiction, they are just typing and the space and all these things. So maybe earlier we were thinking that just only Sanjay watch or धृतराष्ट्र को कि पूरा live हो रहा, कभी सोचा था? अब लग रहा है कि शायद था, सब कुछ सही था, आज हो रहा है. So this may also happen. So we don't know where the technology will take us, but we have to ensure that उनको cyber hygiene आना चाहिए. अब something will happen with that mobile device, or maybe mobile is lost, or because they are using the mobile connection also, right? And now they are getting the calls also, fictitious, suspected calls, unsolicited calls, press this link, right? And after pressing, it's not only his or her account, maybe because he is working on your software, your HR, your sensitive data, so if through that it will go into your system and damage the company, not the individual, because the hacker wants to damage the company for the employee belongs to. So it's your duty also to create the awareness about some of the initiatives, maybe as on date, whatever the initiative Ministry of Communication is taken, and time to time, whatever the new things are coming with respect to cyber hygiene. So there is Sanchar Sathi initiative has been taken by Ministry of Communication. Maybe many of you are aware or maybe are not aware. So the Sanchar Sathi application, if you download, so the beauty of the Sanchar Sathi application is whenever you are receiving any call that you see spam call or the suspected call, right? Or any fraudulent message is coming or links are coming, right? You can report on the Sanchar Sathi app. That is required, so then we can do some analysis in the backend and stop all these things. So your mobile is lost and it's very sensitive device. So you can immediately report through the portal also Sanchar Sathi, because your mobile is lost, so you can't use the Sanchar Sathi app, but desktop version is there, so anywhere you can just log in and report that my mobile, my number is lost. So we immediately block that IMEI number. So no one is going to misuse that mobile. And then maybe many of us have taken the mobile number long back using the paper document. So you don't know that how many mobile numbers connections exist on your name. So for that, maybe know your mobile service is there. You simply log in and punch in, then you can find that how many mobiles are on your name. If they are not on your name, you can simply report it and then we can get it deactivated. And suppose you are taking the telecom service, that know your authorized internet service provider. That also you can find out from the website, right? Financial fraud, of course, 1930 is there. Other cyber security, there's a cybercrime portal you can report. But as a cyber hygiene from the Ministry of Communication perspective, right? Report your lost your mobile, know your mobile connection, report all your unsolicited calls, right? So all these things, happen in Sanchar Sathi app. So please, create the awareness about all these things, 1930, where to report, what to do in case of, something has happened. So that is again our duty, because the last mile, the empowerment of the last mile is very, very important. That we have to strengthen. Otherwise, it will be on the weak foundation. Because whatever the system, the digital empire you are creating based on the employees. And then maybe using the digital public good infrastructure. For example, Bhashni, that is the language translation, because big companies works in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra, right, in Assam, and the agreement maybe in the local language, we are communicating with each other. There are many things. When you educate, you give the training. Maybe I am speaking in Hindi and simultaneously is going on different languages to your employee across the country or across the world using this Bhashini digital public good infrastructure. So, and so many things, or DigiLocker, of course, still, we have to reap the benefit. So I will just conclude it, and my request that we have already shown the world the power of the digital public good infrastructure in terms of the digital Aadhaar and financial inclusion. Because when I was in the Japan, so they were amazed at how we have built all these things, and their speakers are praising in India that how technology savvy we are, and the vegetable hawker is taking the payment using the QR code. This is really, really awesome. We are not able to find anywhere across the world the kind of digital implementation we have done. So thank you very much for listening me. I hope that I have given some input that maybe you can use in your HR system. Thank you.